Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to find the difference quotient for these three functions right here. So first I'm going to find f of x plus h, then I'm going to subtract f of x from f of x plus h, and then finally I'm going to divide by h. Alright, so let's get to it. Our first function, f of x, is negative 3x plus 1. So I want f of x plus h. So f of x plus h is therefore minus 3 times, replacing x with x plus h, and I have a plus 1 at the end. Let me just distribute out my 3 into my parentheses. I get minus 3x minus 3h plus 1. Alright, so that's the first part. Now I'm going to subtract, so I've got f of x plus h. I'm going to subtract f of x. So that will give me minus 3x minus 3h plus 1. That's my f of x plus h. And I subtract from that minus 3x plus 1. 3x plus 1. This will give me negative 3x minus 3h plus 1. Again, a minus times a minus will give me a plus 3x, and a minus 1 gives me minus 1. Tidying up, combining my terms, I get negative 3x plus 3x, and I get plus 1, and negative 1 will cancel, and I will be left with negative 3h. And now, final step, I take f of x plus h minus f of x, and I divide the whole thing by h. So that will give me minus 3h over h. My h's will cancel, and my final answer is negative 3. Negative 3 is my final answer for part 1. Okay. Let's take the second problem. This time I have a quadratic function. F of x is equal to x squared plus 5x minus 1. So let me first find f of x plus h. That will be, instead of x squared, I have x plus h squared plus 5 times x plus h. Again, just replacing my x with x plus h. And I have a minus 1 at the end. Distributing out, x plus h squared is square the first term, that's x squared. Multiply the two terms together and double it, that will be xh times 2 is 2xh plus 2xh. And square the last term, it's plus h squared. Distributing in my 5 here, I get plus 5x plus 5h, and I get a minus 1. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And my next step is to take f of x plus h and subtract f of x. So that will be, bringing this down, I get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 5h minus 1. And from that I'm going to subtract my original function. X squared plus 5x, x squared plus 5x minus 1. So, write it out again, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 5x plus 5h minus 1. Here I get minus x squared. Here I get minus 5x. And here I get plus 1. Minus times minus is going to be plus 1. Now let's see if anything will cancel for me. Can I combine my terms? Well, here I have an x squared, and here I have a negative x squared, so those will cancel. I have here 5x, and here negative 5x, they will cancel. And here I have minus 1 plus 1, they will cancel. And so I will be left with, in the end, I will have 2xh. It's that term, plus h squared. It's that term, plus 5h. And that's it. 2xh plus h squared plus 5h. And now I will divide this as f of x plus h minus f of x, and I'll divide the whole thing by h. I'll divide this by h, and I will lose an h here, one of my h's here, and an h here. And so I will be left with 2x plus h plus 5. 2x plus h plus 5. And this is my final answer. This is f of x plus h minus f of x, all divided by h. 2x plus h plus 5. That's part 2 complete. Final part. Part 3 is perhaps a little more complicated. This time, my f of x is 1 over x plus 3. 1 over x plus 3. So my f of x plus h, therefore, will be 1 over x plus h plus 3. X plus h plus 3. Okay, so I will now take f of x plus h minus f of x plus h minus f of x. That will give me 1 over x plus h plus 3 minus 1 over x plus 3. 1 over x plus 3. In order to subtract these, I'm going to find a common denominator. So that will be x plus h plus 3 times x plus 3. X plus h plus 3 goes into all of this x plus 3 times. X plus 3 times 1 is x plus 3. I have a minus. X plus 3 goes into all of this x plus h plus 3 times. X plus h plus 3 times 1 is x plus h plus 3. And now, tidying up on top, distribute my parentheses. I will have x plus 3 minus x minus h minus 3. Distributing in my minus here. And downstairs, I will distribute this out. I will have x times x, that's x squared. X times 3 is plus 3x. Here I have plus hx, h times x, plus h times 3 is 3h, plus 3x, and finally plus 9, plus 3x plus 9. All right, there's a lot there. Let's gather it all up. Up on top I have x minus x, and I have 3 minus 3 will cancel. X minus x and 3 minus 3 will cancel. So up in my numerator, I am left with minus h. Down here, I have 1x squared term. I have plus 3x, that's plus 6x. I have a plus 9. I have plus hx. And instead of 3 terms, hx, and I have plus 3h. Those are all my terms, and that's what I'm left with. Now I have to divide this whole thing by h. So I'm going to note this is f of x plus h minus f of x. I'm going to divide the whole thing by h. So I'm going to divide all of this by h. If you like, h over 1. And so I'm going to invert my denominator and multiply. So I get minus h all over. I notice that in the fraction that's in the numerator, in the denominator of that fraction, I have x squared plus 6x plus 9. That is x plus 3 squared. X squared plus 6x plus 9 is x plus 3 all squared. So I'm going to write it in that form. So that is x plus 3 squared. It's these 3 terms, x squared plus 6x plus 9. Over here I have plus hx plus 3h, I'll just leave it in that form, plus hx plus 3h. And now I'm multiplying by the reciprocal, which is 1 over h. 1 over h. I have an h here in the numerator and an h here in the denominator, which will cancel. And so I will be left with, up on top, minus 1 all over x plus 3 squared plus, if I like, I could factor out an h out of here. And I have h on x plus 3. Perhaps I could leave it in that form. You bring your minus to the front of your fraction. And that's it. I'm left with my difference quotient is minus on 1 over x plus 3 squared plus h on x plus 3. That is my answer for that third function.